And one of the lessons that I've just learned from that is that when God gives you an instruction, am I doing wrong? Why is this thing not working? Me, in fact, my husband had to take him out at one point because he was crying. Like, our goal is to do this in multiple cities. Do you know that I have realized that the people that get the most results in this life, they are not always the most hardworking people. They are not always the people that have the most skills. It's the people that have the one thing that I'm about to share in today's video. I've realized that the people who are like super successful, like in their careers, in their businesses, who get a lot of traction, are not necessarily like the most talented people or the most skilled people. They are people who learn how to move before things become perfect. If you did this thing I'm about to say, it's literally going to change your entire life. A quick story. So, was it at the beginning of this year in February, I had my first ever event in Ottawa, in Canada. In fact, my first ever event. And it wasn't even up until like the later part of last year that I knew I was going to do that event. And it wasn't like I had all the money or like the money was complete. I just knew that I wanted to do it, and I knew that if I started going, like the resources would be complete. And fun fact, for that February event, when I paid for like the venue, like that was all the money that I had. But I just had enough to make the down payment for that venue. But I knew that one way or the other, like it to come together, and it eventually did. Was the event successful? Yes. Did I eventually end up spending so much of my own money on it, even despite the fact that like we sold tickets? Yes. But it taught me so much more about hosting events. And now, when I now wanted to, which is the real story I'm telling you today, when I now wanted to do like an intimate dinner in Toronto, because my goal was to have 3 events this year. And one of the things I strongly believe that even despite the fact that the one I did in February carried my money and all of that, if I didn't do it, I won't have like the learnings from it to host like the second one. So for the second event that I was going to do in Toronto, because it was going to be my first event in Toronto, I didn't want it to be like super big. And then there is this thing that is happening right now in the B2B, in social, where like a lot of brands are like, they are really into like intimate dinners, because for one, it's intimate, you can connect with people like one-on-one. Then it's also very like high converting for the brand. So I'd noticed that trend, and because I have a creator community, I also wanted to host something similar. So in fact, it was for my brother-in-law's wedding, because we had gone to my brother-in-law's wedding in Toronto. So I was like, oh, since the whole family is going to be here, let me also do something, right? And I just feel like I was supposed to do it. I just felt like that strong impression in my heart that I was supposed to do it. By the time I was paying for the venue, again, the same thing, I only had enough money to make the down payment for the venue. But one of the things, like one of the biggest lessons that I have learned personally is that when you move, that's when supply comes. Yes, I knew that I was supposed to do that event. Like, I would say, like, I actually felt led to do it. I believe God wanted me to do it. But on paper, it didn't look perfect. But one of the things I've learned, even from when you think about the story in Cana, like the wedding in Cana, when Jesus told them that they were like, the wine has finished, though, and Jesus was like, okay, go and draw from the purification pot, right? In those days, the Jews used to do a lot of purification. Go and take from that pot and, and draw it and serve it to the head of the feast. It wasn't when they drew the water that water turned to wine. No, it wasn't. It was when they were on the way that the water turned to wine. And one of the lessons that I've just learned from that is that when God gives you an instruction, when He puts a dream on your heart, you will not have all the answers in that moment. It is when you start going, when you're on your way, that everything will start to add together. And that was exactly what happened in this case. I paid for the venue. In fact, the first brand that said, they wanted to partner with us had to defer. And they said, like they were not ready. Maybe their product was not ready, or they were sure not ready. That they said, okay, they will come back in fall. But by this time, I had already paid for the venue. In fact, I was this close to saying, okay, maybe we're not going to do it again. But as I was just praying, I just felt led that, we're still supposed to go ahead. So despite not knowing where, what brand we're going to host it for, because remember what I said, it's something that is happening right now, that brands are tapping into. And because I'm also building like a creator business, I also wanted, to position myself that way. Still not knowing like where the money was going to come from. And to be honest, it wasn't even so much about the money, but about like the positioning. Do you understand? So that our company can also be seen that, okay, we have this product beyond just running ads that brands can tap into. But the instruction was like, keep going, keep planning as if like you already have a sponsor. And that was exactly what I did. Guys, ask me why 2 weeks to the event, that's one of our partners that said they wanted to work with us, just sent a message to say, oh, hi. They replied to say, oh, we want to work with you. And I'm telling you, everything eventually worked out. And we had the dinner. In fact, so many creators came. I'm going to do the vlog so that you guys can see like what actually happened, like for the dinner itself. So many creators came, they enjoyed themselves, and it was so beautiful. And the brand, I think I have a screenshot of the CEO sending me a message to say, oh, thank you so much, we got so much value from this. So this is something that would have delivered value on both ends. On one end, to the creators who attended free of charge, they had a 3-course meal, and to the brand who got to connect with the kind of creators they want to work with, who got so many customers. And then to me, as a business owner, as someone building a creator business, all of this would not have happened if I had allowed fear or the fact that I didn't have it all figured out, to stop me. And that's why I always say, in fact, and I'm still learning, is that just start. When you start, you can make it better. When you start, you can improve on it. There are so many of us right now, you have so many things that you want to do. You want to build your personal brand. You've told yourself you want to create content, but you're waiting until you get that fancy camera, until you get that genge mic. The truth is that mic will come and you still not do anything, because you see, the you that should have compounded, the learning curve that you should have started since, that's when you now begin it. And that's why I say, no matter what it is, right, if you really want to be successful in life, you want to build a successful career, you want to be known for what you do, you want to put yourself out there, start before it begins to make sense, because the provision will meet you on the way, not on your paper, not when you're still trying to strategize, trying to figure it out. So guys, I'm just going to take you behind the scenes. I did a bit of vlogging, during the events, and I just wanted to show you guys. And I mean, if you're in Canada, right, even if you're not in Canada, if you're in the UK or you're in the US and you want us to do something similar in your city, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay, so now I'm just going to walk you through what happened during the day and how everything went, right guys? So hi everyone, so welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I know we announced 2 weeks ago, and I mean, I even had to still decline people that said they wanted to come. So it means so much to me that you guys are here, that you left the comfort of your homes to come here today. It means a lot. Thank you so much for coming. And like Nina said, we really want you guys to talk to each other. The essence of us meeting here today is not just to hope that maybe we connect with the brand. It's as much as connecting with each other. The vertical, the horizontal, this is horizontal. We have the horizontal connections as much as they matter as much as the vertical conversations. Working with brands is cool, right? But I feel like most of us are waiting for that one dream brand to notice us, and you are building all this engaged audience, you're building all this ownership, and you're just hoping that one day one brand come and pay you to access your community, when they've been sitting there all along waiting for you to sell something to them, for you to build your own thing. So if there's anything you take from this conversation today, I want it to be that you have the desire or the drive to go build your own thing, to go talk to your community, find out what their pain points are, to ask them how you can be of service to them and actually build your businesses. And I would say that the way the room is designed is in such a way that I have a lot of creator friends here who are building their own businesses. They're not waiting for brands to come to them, right? And I hope that you can, as you talk to people, you find out what they are building and can give you inspiration, for your own. So I'll say that's the major thing. The creator economy is huge, and the crazy thing that I've noticed is that when brands see that you're thriving on your own, you build your own community, your own business, that's when they will actually come to you, because it's almost as if you get the brand partnerships when you don't need it. When you've proven that you built your own thing. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed watching that. We had so much fun, even though I had to be with me. In fact, my husband had to take him out at one point because he was crying. So let me know, like I said before, our goal is to do this in multiple cities. Come meet as many creators as possible, as many of you, founders, trying to use content to grow your business. So let me know in the comments if you want us to come to your city and when you want us to come, and by God's grace, we'll make it happen. And like I said, if there's something that God has put on your heart to do and you've not done it because you want it to make sense, perfect sense, I'm telling you, there will never be a perfect time. When you actually start, that's when you actually start to see, the results. Okay guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.